Okay, so here we're going to do an abdominal crunch. This you can do anywhere. You can do on the floor. You can put some towels down if you need a little bit extra padding. So my knees are bent, my feet are flat on the floor, and I'm just going to let myself down here. Now my hands can be behind my head to support my neck. Now a crunch is not the same thing as a sit-up, so we're going to do a crunch. A crunch is where you lift up the shoulder blades off the floor. You see how my shoulder blades have come up off the floor? And you lift up and you hold. And then you let down slowly. Lift, hold, and then roll down. Lift, hold, and roll down. Now if you want to go a little bit more advanced on this, what you can do is alternate your elbow to your knee. So watch this. I'm bringing my right elbow to my left knee and my left elbow to my right knee. And there you have it. Okay, so what we're going to do here is a body bridge. We're going to show you two different ways here. I'm going to show you two different ways here to do a body bridge. And the first way is where you do repetitions. Now this is the easier way to do it because you're not having to hold in any one position for a long period of time. Okay, so here's what we do. See my toes are on the ground here. I'm going to lift up my body into a plank position here. My elbows are on the floor, okay, and then I come down. Lift up and down, and up and down. Now this is all working your core, and also your shoulder girdle is having to stabilize a little bit. Now here's the more advanced body bridge. You lift up and you hold for a specific period of time. So most of the time I'll start with 5 seconds with my clients, and then we'll go to 10 seconds and then 15, and then you can increase it like that. So we're going to hold for about 5 to 10 seconds right now, and then you can do this as well. So here we go. You get in your position, and then you raise up, and then you just hold. See how my back is nice and straight? I'm not going up like this. It's nice and straight. It's causing my abdominals to have to really, really work hard to stabilize my body to keep it in this position. And this is your body bridge. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do a push-up now. Now we're going to start from the very basic push-ups, assuming that there is no body strength, absolutely no body strength. I'm sure you're not there. But in case you are, for whatever reason, here is where you need to start. You place your hands on the wall, just any wall of your home. You place your hands on the wall, and you have the natural curvature of your spine. You have that neutral spine. You just lean over a little bit like this, and you're against the wall, okay? My feet are about hip to shoulder width apart. My hands are directly in front of my shoulders. Okay, so I have maximum stability this way. If they're too far up this way, or if they're too far down that way, I'm not going to have the stability I need or the strength. So I need to have them directly under. More specifically, my wrist needs to be directly underneath or in front of my shoulder. Okay, so here I go. I'm just going to press down. Now I'm bending my elbows outward. See how I'm moving forward toward the wall, and I'm bending my elbows outward. I'm not bending them under, I'm bending them outward, okay? So you can start here, do about 10 reps here, and then you see how you're feeling after a little bit. Now what you can do now is increase that angle. See, so I'm going to go down a little bit, and I'm increasing the angle. Did you see what I did? Okay. Again, my wrists are still underneath or in front of my shoulders. My feet are still at the same point. They're still about hip to shoulder width apart. So here I go. Now the angle is a little bit more difficult. The form is the same. The angle is different. Okay? So from that point, you can only do so much of an angle before you're going to have to go down to the floor. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to go to the floor, and I'm going to show you what you do next with a push-up. Okay, so here we're going to do a push-up, assuming my cat is going to stay out of the way and cooperate. Okay, So here's a push-up on the knee. So you're going to be on your hands and your knees. Your feet are on the carpet there. Your toes are relaxed. And your arms are out slightly because you're going to angle down. You're going to angle down when you come down. So you're going to need a little bit more space here instead of being directly underneath like this. It's going to be a little bit easier if you angle out from this point. Okay, so you're just going to stay on your knees, keep your toes relaxed, and bend your arms outward and come down. Now, ultimately, you want to get down to where your nose is almost touching the ground. You see how I have the neutral spine there with this natural curve in my spine here? Okay? Okay, so this is a normal on the knee push-up. Now, if you want to advance, then all you do is get on your toes, you come into a plank, and you do the same thing. And that's your push-up. Okay, here I want to show you a squat against the wall. So my feet are about 6 inches away from the wall. My heel is about 6 inches away from the wall, okay? I can still have my arms bent. My shoulders are at the top, are in contact with the wall, and then my hips are also in contact with the wall, but then I have this space, which is the natural curvature of my spine. I don't want to have my back flat against the wall like this, okay, because that's not the natural form of my spine. So I want to maintain this curve and have that space there. So again, my shoulders and my hips are in contact with the wall, and my feet are about 6 inches away from the bottom. My heels are about 6 inches away from the bottom. So here I go. My hands are on my hips, and I just come down and then back up again. And I'm following the line of the wall the whole time. Now this is easier for some of you who have a little bit more problem with stability, and this might be where you need to start before you do the squat that we'll show you next. This is the proper way to do a squat. You can have your hands on your hips, look straight forward, or even look a little bit up toward the ceiling. Heels are on the floor, toes in contact with the floor. You have your neutral spine here with a normal curve in your lower back, not too much, not too little. You're going to get a pelvic tilt out this way, and then you sit down. Note how I keep my knees behind my toes. My knee line is behind my toe line. In order for me to do that, I have to move my hips back. Because if I don't move my hips back, I wind up going like this. And then look at my knees this way. So I have to get that pelvic tilt in order to do it properly. Now, if you have to balance, you can put your arms out like this. Come all the way down to where your femur is at a 90-degree angle. Not your hips, even with your knee. Your hips need to be a little bit above my knee. You see how my hip is above my knee here? And that's the squat. Okay, so the last exercise I'm going to show you today is a tricep dip on a table. You can do this on a table. You can do this on a counter where you're standing. You can do it on a bathtub rim or, the bathtub ledge there. So what you do is you have your hands, you're sitting at first, and you have your hands on either side of your hips. And your legs extend out with your heels up. And what you're going to do is you're going to move your hips off of the sitting position so that they're suspended here. I'm just hanging here, and my shoulders are staying supportive like this. And my shoulders aren't, I'm not going to shrug my shoulders, in other words, okay? So now I'm ready to go. All I do is bend my arms back. Now note here that in the push-ups, my elbows were going on the either side of me, but here with a tricep dip, my elbows are going behind me. Okay, so this is the tricep dip. And you can do this in different variations. Like I mentioned, you can do this on a counter where the angle is a little bit more easy, and then you can do it on a lower angle like this that's a little bit more challenging. And you can bring your hips all the way to the ground and then back up again for a full range of motion. All right, and that's the tricep dip.